the like button, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. You understand me? Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Join this Fisk Unit army and get Fisk Unit tough. Alright, look. Shout out to Joe Schoen, man. Shout out to Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen, he said, DeAndre, I'm sorry, but you don't meet the requirements to be a New York Football Giant receiver. You don't meet them. Now, for those of y'all who follow me on Twitter, I've said this 10,000 times about Deandre Hopkins. He don't meet the criteria of the wide receiver that we looking to add on the Giants. Does he play like Wandale? No. Does he play like Jalen Hyatt? No. Is he a burner like Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton? No. Giants got a track team. The only slow people we got is Shepard and Hodgins. And they serve their purpose. There's nothing DeAndre Hopkins does at this stage of his career that Shepard and Hodgins can't do. Let's just keep it a buck. All right, so I did a video earlier this summer. I said, yo, DeAndre Hopkins is interested in coming to the Giants. He's talking with Daniel Jones, whatever. I told y'all that happened. Some of y'all thought I was capping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought it was filler content, but it wasn't. All right, I told y'all, I said, bro, Daniel Jones got the whole Giants offense in Arizona right now. Saquon and DeAndre Hopkins work out with each other in the offseason. I told you 1 + 1 = 2. Or what you think DeAndre Hopkins wasn't gonna go say what's up to Saquon? And in the process of him saying what's up to Saquon, you wouldn't think Saquon was gonna introduce him to Danny and Waller and the rest of the crew? You think they weren't gonna catch balls? You think they weren't gonna talk? Come on, y'all. Gilbert Arenas, Brandon Marshall, all these dudes, these players, they have podcasts and they talk about this shit all the time. Like, yo, we meet up in the off season. We work out with each other. We coordinate how we can play together. These things happen. Why else would DeAndre Hopkins have his agents and representatives reach out to the Giants? You getting the blessing from the quarterback. You're not just going to say, yo, I want to go play for this team and you're not rocking with the quarterback. Let's call that I'm not even going to explain this shit. Like, if you're dumb enough to not understand that, then stay dumb. But at the end of the day, Joe Schoen has shown that if he is worried about something, he takes care of it. When Joe Schoen sees a hole, he plugs it. Look at the depth on the defensive line. Boogie Basham. Look at what he did with Isaiah Simmons. When Joe Schoen feels there's a need, he'll take care of it. So what does that say about our current group of receivers, Giants fans? What does that say? That says they the shit, the toilet and the damn tissue. That means we lit at wide receiver. Now, for those of y'all who watched the Giants Outsiders last night, shout out to my man Ron Effect. My man Ron Effect, he was on Black Air Force Energy last night. He was not to be fucked with last night. Shout out to Ron Effect. Shout out to Pizzle too. I told y'all, I'm not touching this Giants wide receiver core for prop bets or fantasy purposes for the first month of the season. Because there's a problem. The problem with the Giants is we got too much shit. Like, we got way too many receivers. Like, we got the Giants receiver room right now. Let this sink in, Giants fans. Let this sink in. Our two best receivers are on the bench. Our two best receivers ain't even starting yet. The starters going into the Cowboy game is Slayton, Campbell, and Hodges. Those are the starters. Our two best receivers are Wandale and Jalen Hyatt. They coming off the bench. That's how deep our wide receiver room is. So like I said, I'm not touching the wide receiver room. I didn't draft any Giants receivers. I don't plan on doing any player props for Giants receivers because I don't know who's going to emerge. I know Jalen Hyatt is that dude. I love Wandale Robinson. A lot of y'all sleeping on Wandale Robinson. I don't know who's going to do what. I don't know who's going to be who. I don't know. All I know is we good at the receiver position. I feel like with the receiver room, and I said it last night, right? I got a feeling that the offense is Darren Waller, Saquon, and whoever the fuck is open at receiver. I don't think Daniel Jones has a favorite receiver yet. Yet. Keyword on yet. I don't think he has a favorite receiver yet. I think going into the Cowboy game, it's going to be Saquon, Waller, and I think you'll see, I don't know, 5 targets to Campbell, 3 to Slayton, 4 to Hodgins. Hyatt will come off the bench, get like 3 or 4 targets. I think those targets will be distributed for like the first month of the season. I think the targets in the wide receiver room are going to be dispersed pretty evenly. And then as the season progresses, players get hurt, players outplay each other. I feel like by the time we play the Dolphins on October 8th, we'll know who the number 1 receiver on the Giants is. We'll have a feel for who's the guy on the Giants by that Dolphin game. That's my prediction. As of right now, you can't call it. You can't call it because, like I said, Wandale and Hyatt are on the bench. They're coming off the bench. And those are our 2 best receivers. That's the future of the room. Those are the 2 receivers that Joe Schoen drafted. Wandale in the second, Hyatt in third. Those are the 2 receivers that he drafted to be the future of the room. So we're going to see how this, plays out. But as far as DeAndre Hopkins goes, man, Joe Schoen, I mean, what y'all want me to tell you? If Joe Schoen say we don't need him, we don't need him. If Joe Schoen don't want him, then who am I to argue? It's just, because we're being linked to Mike Evans. I don't think we want Mike Evans either. I don't think Joe Schoen wants Mike Evans either. I keep trying to tell y'all that I feel like Brian Dable and Joe Schoen and Kafka are happy with the wide receiver room. If he didn't pursue Hopkins, why would he pursue Mike Evans? Hopkins is cheap. You can get Hopkins. What is Hopkins getting? Like $12, $13 million or something cheap for Tennessee? Mike Evans is going to want 20 plus. So if he didn't go out and get Hopkins, why would he go get a 30-plus-year-old Mike Evans for even more money? I think Joe Schoen is happy with his wide receiver room, and I think he's going to let it play out. I think Joe Schoen's going to let the wide receiver room fall in place. Just let it fall in place. It's going to be fun to watch the wide receivers fall in place, iron out their roles, carve out their niche in the offense. It's going to be fun to see, man. That's going to be one of the most interesting thing to watch on the Giants the first month of the season is what receivers fall into favor with the coaching staff and what receivers fall into favor with Daniel Jones. That's going to be the most fun thing to watch the first month of the season. But anyway, shout out to DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is a good dude. Shout out to him. Shout out to Joe Schoen. Shout out to everybody. That's it. That's all. Shout out, most importantly, to the Fisk unit. I love y'all. Subscribe to the unit. If you're rocking with me, my name is Fisk Vegas, and I approve this message.